Dr. Ernest Khan, President of ICPAS, Mr. Teo Salak, Senior Parliamentary Secretary, MCYS and MOT, as well as, actually Salak is also a member of our Group Parliamentary Committee as well. So he's come in various capacities, and he's also ICPAS advisor. And to the distinguished panelists and ladies and gentlemen. I'm really glad to be part of today's discussion, as well as that ICPAS has actually organized this session, because it is, as Ernest has shared, it is an opportunity for us to be able to hear your views, your thoughts, as we talk about 2009, but more importantly, about the salient points on the 2010 budget. Just to set expectation, just in case if anyone was expecting to hear a little, to get insights on the 2010 budget, I don't think I must disappoint you up front. That's not something that I would be in a position to share with you, but of course we will be discussing key areas that we're all anticipating in the 2010 budget. Just to set the context, I think many of us at this point in time would say, we could heave a sigh of relief, because in terms of the economy and where we're seeing it trending, I think that in some cases we can say there is a steady recovery. We're on firmer grounds. I hate to use this term, or that has been overused in the last few months, which is this cautious optimism, but I think that's the mood that the term to describe it. But at the same time, I think there has also been greater confidence in the last few months in terms of where the economy is heading. Line of sight seems stronger in terms of the first half, as MTI has shared with us. But in terms of the second half of the year, I think there's still some uncertainties given the external factors and the variables that we're all expecting. But as we talk about the 2009 budget, I think one of the things we saw, it was really a budget of helping both individuals, Singaporeans, and companies operating here to manage and deal with the economic crisis. And I think that is what the 2009 budget has definitely helped to achieve. So as Ajit goes through that, I think we will see the impetus of that. But what I'd like to actually, and I hope to hear more from the panel here today, is regarding the 2010 budget and how expansionary, and what are some of the key things that could be in that aspect. Many of you in the panel are also involved in the Economic Strategies Committee, and I think much has been discussed there with regards to Singapore's capability building, as well as how Singapore is going to sustain that growth. We do expect that the 2010 budget to be somewhat aligned to supporting the ESC and the strategies that the 8 subcommittees will be coming through with. So I think that proportion is something that we should be discussing. Hold our breaths, because we all know that the key recommendations will be coming out at the end of this month. So that would, I think, have a lot of influence on the 2010 budget as well. But I'd like to touch on 2 points, which I think is imperative for the 2010 budget. One is really, what are the expansionary measures that will be in place to support a sustained growth, given the new norms we're seeing. The second piece is really what's in the budget to support capability building, specifically both for the short term as well as, more importantly, for the longer term. We've had some discussions around what's going to constitute the growth factors and the industries. Is it manufacturing? Is it services? I think there's many discussions around that. So I think those are aspects I hope to hear from the panel as well. So just to reiterate the context, I think Minister Tharman has shared in the Parliament end of last year in October, when he discussed and gave us some insights of the budget. Clearly, he has stated very clearly it will be an expansionary budget. Government spending is likely to go up, and there will continue to be strong investment in infrastructure, education and healthcare. He doesn't foresee that we will make any major shifts in the fiscal stance that was taken in 2009, as well as clearly the message was the government will spend within its means. It is also going to be a budget that will be committed to helping our companies grow, as well as restructure and raise productivity. And I think a lot of this discussion has also happened with the Economic Strategies Committee, and industry feedback has been very, very positive, and we've heard a lot of good suggestions from industry. So I think I anticipate that we will see a lot on that aspect. The other thing that was discussed by Minister Tharman is that as expansionary as it will not be broad-based, it will be targeted. And hence, I do ask the committee here, the panel here, to really, if you can, as we go into our discussions later, and we have about 2 hours to discuss later, I do hope that you will also, because you're industry leaders, you're in the market, we would like to hear your thoughts with regards to more specificity rather than broad discussions. So I do ask that you use this opportunity. Because the role of the GPC, or the Group Parliamentary Committee, as all of you know, and we do have the various industries that we look at, I mean, for MTI and finance, our role is not just to debate and to talk about policies with the government. Our role is to represent the industry, to take your feedback. So we did that with the ESC early broad recommendations, and we had a lot of good feedback from industry. But what I would ask of you is that if you can help us be more specific, it will help our discussion, as we do have a few more pre-discussions with the ministries before the actual budget release, as well as there will be also a post-session once budget debates start. After budget release, we hope to hear from you again in terms of the specifics with regards, so that we can actually address that in the budget debate. And that won't be just myself, because the Group Parliamentary Committee, there are 10 of us, so we will take your recommendations and your feedback and represent that as we speak in Parliament and as we debate on that as well. So I do ask that you not only use today's session, but also in the process of the budget build-up to continue to give us your feedback. So once again, I'd like to thank ICPAS for organizing this session, and I look forward to hearing your insights, your feedback, as well as to being able to represent your feedback. All right, thank you.